All right, today we're going to be talking about the Bill Lewis Zigzag, and if you don't know what this is, I'll show you. We're going to go over it all. This bait is pretty darn cool. It's a topwater, but it's used to kind of mimic a fleeing little bait fish from your bigger topwater walking bait. There used to be one made years ago that was, I guess, semi-similar to this, I've been told. I never used it. I'm not sure what it is. Put them in the comments below if you remember the name of it. Somebody told me the one time, but don't remember exactly. But this thing comes in 3 colors. Right here, you can see this is chrome and black. And then we got this guy out, which is bone. And then we got the last one, which is called Disco Shad. And this guy here, this one's pretty cool. It's got that little bit of chartreuse on there on its front. We got the yellow stripe down, a little pearly lavender color. Like, it's really good all around looking color. I like this one a lot. So how do we fish this thing and how do we rig it up? So it's got this split ring on here, and that's where you're gonna connect to your main line. So when I throw this, I'm usually throwing it on a Dobbins 733 or 734 champion rod. And that rod, it does a good job. So we got a lot of weight here. So that's why I lean towards that 734 a lot of times. It depends on the size of the back top water you're throwing to which one I use more. But I like to throw that with braid. You throw that with braid, and then I put a monofilament leader in between here. So you can see this one right here. It's about, can you see it there? Maybe a little better. It's probably 13, 14 inches, something like that. Give it that little bit of space in between there. And so after we tie this to your braid, you come back here, you tie your mono leader off of it, and then you go tie this on like you would normally. So when you have all 3 of these kind of connected, each piece, what this does, it goes across the front and it's kind of twitching along the top of the water. And then this guy's doing his walking deal, and it kind of looks like it's chasing it. And that really gets like those fish's predatory instincts really fired up, which is kind of cool. Like, if you think about it, if you see a bait fish out there swimming away, like a little one, and maybe you got like a little 8, 10-inch bass chasing that little bait fish, well, all of a sudden when they see that happening, the bigger bass are like, oh, I got to get that. And one, they either come grab this guy, which is really neat, or they'll get this one. They'll either be like, oh, I don't want that little snack, I want the big meal. And they come right after it, snatch that thing up, and you'll be able to hook them, put them in the boat real quick. And if you get some situations where these fish are schooling, you get a double, which is pretty cool. I've had that happen twice this summer now. I wish I would have had it on video. I didn't, unfortunately, but smallmouth, they were schooling. I threw out there, and they came up and just crushed it. I'm reeling it in. They actually ate this one on the back, and as I was reeling it in, they grabbed this one, another one. They were whatever. They weren't giants, but like 3-pounders, so pretty cool. They got them next to the boat and ended up swinging. I didn't swing them. I had a net with me that day. I was fishing, just fun fishing. So scooped them both up, had it in there, and it was pretty neat. So that's kind of what you got going here. Some other situations to throw this is striper. If you see some striper schooling, you can definitely get those fish really fired up and give yourself a good shot at catching a double with this little piece. I don't know if I mentioned this before. The monofilament I put in between, I use 20-pound. I want that stuff to be pretty strong and heavy. Really let the fish, if you get 2 on there, give you that chance to get them back in there. Otherwise, if you use something 15 or something like that, it'll work, but I feel like there's so much going on here, you don't need to really downsize and really finesse it with it. This works best in open water. You don't want to have a bunch of grass or anything floating on the surface. That's going to just kind of grab everything, get all kind of gunked up. So like, even with a regular top water walking bait, you're not going to want to throw that when you're fishing around a bunch of stuff. But that's kind of those sort of situations. Some other situations, maybe summertime, anytime where you throw a topwater, you can throw this. You will not have quite the accuracy you do when you're throwing just a single bait. There's a lot of like leverage and stuff swinging around here. So it's good for open water more so than casting up to that lay down or up to that dock and twitching it. If you're doing that, you better really practice throwing this thing and get that thing really dialed in. If you're trying to make a little bit more accurate cast, you can shorten this leader in here, make it more like that probably 6 to 8 inch range, and that'll give you a little bit more. When you get that longer, it kind of starts like helicoptering or like a Carolina rig, sort of like where you're throwing to an area, you're not throwing to a specific spot with it. So that's something else to consider. I've used a lot of different topwater baits. This one's a shower blow. I've used spooks. I've used, what else? Like a vixen, any of that sort of thing. Does a really good job. You might not want to go as much with like a popper behind it, because obviously when you're pulling this one first, so it's darting. The popper in the back won't get that same real action darting down. So that's probably not the best bet, but if you want to pick these up, check them out. Bill Lewis has got them on their website. It's 1/10 ounce. If you're wondering how heavy that guy was there, you can see the packaging. It's 1.5 inches long. It comes stock with these feathered trebles with a little bit of the like tinsel-y stuff in there, or the mylar, and that really, I think, helps get a lot of bites too. And it's a good quality hook, so you don't have to worry about taking this hook and taking it off and putting a fresh one on there. I officially think right out of the box. And like I said, 3 colors: that disco shad, black chrome, and bone. They're the 3 I use the most. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them, and hopefully we can talk soon. I'll try to get another video out here before too long. If you haven't subscribed to my channel before, I'd greatly appreciate that. It always helps. But have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you catch a lot of big fish.